The mediator pattern is a behavioral design pattern that facilitates the communication between multiple objects in a system without them needing to reference each other directly. Instead of the object referencing each other directly to communicate, they interact through a mediator object. This approach helps reduce the dependencies between the interacting objects, making the system easier to manage and maintain. To demonstrate the mediator pattern, we'll be using our original book application that we've been using in the previous design pattern tutorials. So the first thing you need to do is to create a new Swift UI application. The next thing we need to do is to create our books class or book struct. New file, select Swift UI. Name the file books. Struct books identifiable, let ID equals UUID. That creates a unique ID. Var name, string, var author, string, var image name. String, var price, string. The next file we need to create is our author struct. Name the file author. Struct author identifiable, let ID equals UID. Var name, string, var bio, string. And then the next class we need to create is our book list class. And the purpose of the book list class is to hold an array of books. But really, it should be coming from an API. Import observation, import Swift UI at observable, class book list, and then we need a variable called data that will hold an array of book objects, and then we create our same fetch method that we normally create within our design pattern tutorials. I'll just use the same data array that we used in the previous design pattern tutorials, so it's on the clipboard. The next class we need to create is called the author list. Author list. Similar to the book list class that we created. So I'll just copy and change some of these things. Rename the book list to author list. On line 19, rename it from books to author. Within the data array, we need to be passing in author objects. So we need to pass in the name and the bio for the author. The name is Harper Lee. Bio. Author of To Kill a Mockingbird. And then I'll just copy and paste this to add another object onto the array. The author's name will be Jane Austen. And the author of Pride and Prejudice. Just add another element to the array. So the author name is F. Scott Fitzgerald. Author of The Great Gatsby. And then we just add our final element onto the array, which is Daniel W. Merrick. Author of Yahuwah Bible. Now I'll just compile it. Just compiling at the moment. Still compiling. It's compiled. So the next class we need to create is our mediator class. mediator, import, observation, import, Swift UI, at observable to detect any changes within the class, class mediator, bar book list, bar author list, next thing we need to create is our initializer, book list, author list, And the purpose of the initializer is to create an instance of the mediator class with these specific book list and author list instances. Self.book_list equals to book list. Self.author list is equal to author list. So what that does, it initializes the book list property with the provided book list instance, and also initializes the author list property with the provided author list instance. Next thing we need to create is our fetch methods. So we need a method to fetch the books from the array, book list.fetch, and we also need a method to fetch the authors from the array list, author list.fetch. The next file we need to create is our book list view, which is our Swift UI view. Select new file, select Swift UI view, click on next. Name the file book list view. At state var mediator. So we need to create a mediator object. Delete line 14. We need to create a navigation view. Within our navigation view, we need a list. And then we loop through our mediator book list data object. Within our closure, we need to add a HDAC, alignment, top, spacing, 10. we also need to add our image. Or something's happened with the recording. So our image is book.imageName dot resizable dot frame width 80, height 120, dot corner radius 8, V-stack alignment dot leading spacing 5, text book dot name dot font dot title dot font weight dot bold. Next thing we need to add is our author, book author. So display the author's name within our text element. Font.subheading or subheadline. And spacer. And then we add the book price. Font. Headline. Foreground color. Dot orange. Dot padding vertical 5. And then to populate our list, we need to add the dot on a pair method. We don't need a preview, so we can delete lines 48 to 51. So let's add our dot on a pair method. Mediator dot fetch books. Navigation bar title. Navigation bar title. Book list. display mode dot large, list style plain, and then just add a bit of padding. And I think there's an error somewhere. So this bracket on line 43, we need to move that after lines 51. Now I just compile it. Image name, there's an error somewhere. Book list, data. I had to restart Xcode, but it seems like it's compiling now. It's compiled. So the next thing we need to do is create another Swift UI file and name the file author list view. Author list view. At state var mediator so we create an object, a mediator, and we need to add our navigation view again, list mediator dot author list dot data. Authors in, and then we add our restack, alignment dot leading, spacing 10. Something's wrong with the video. Text author dot name font dot title font weight dot bold, and then we just display the bio, the author's bio. Font dot sub headline, add some padding, on line 16 we need to delete the S from authors. Dot on appear, mediator dot fetch authors, navigation bar, title, author list, display mode, large, dot list style, plain list style. Dot padding. We just compile it. We don't need a preview. It's compiled. So now the final thing we need to do is to implement our content view. At state private var book list equals book list. At state private var author list equals author list. So create two object instances. Delete line 16 and then type in the following: let mediator equals mediator you pass in the book list and the author list. So what that does on line 17, we initialize a new instance of the mediator class, passing in a book list and author list instances as arguments. And then to enable the user to navigate between the book view and the author's view, we will create a tab view, book list, view, mediator, mediator, tab item, and then the label, books, system image is book. And we do the same thing for the author list tab item. I'll just copy and paste it and then rename it. Authors, for the system image, name, person. On line 13, made an error, so that should be authors list. Now I'll just compile it. And then run it afterwards.